So I'm going to show you how to set up your teacher only section in your master class notebook. So I'm going to go to my master class and I'm going to go to my class notebook. And I'm going to go to the teacher only section because the teacher only section is like your staging area. This is where you're going to set everything up before you distribute it to your students. So I'm going to click on teacher only. And as you can see, I have some things already set up here. So I am going to add a new section. And actually, even though you can do this in your Teams, I'm going to go to my OneNote app on my desktop just because I think it's easier to look at. It's bigger. So I'm still in my master class. This is the drop down where you can choose other classes. So if I want to go to my practice class or a different class if you have multiple eSchool classes and things like that. So I'm in my master class. I'm in my teacher only. I'm just going to collapse the other section so it's not as confusing to look at. So at the bottom, I'm going to click Add Section. I am going to call this Unit 4, Systems of Equations and Imaginary Numbers. Now, I can't have an ampersand, of course, so let's try this again. Unit 4, Systems of Equations and Imaginary Numbers. There we go. So now notice that it's out of order, so I can just click and drag and move it where I want it to. So in here, I already have one page. So I'm going to call this day 1 to, I think it's day 6 that we do systems of equations. Okay, and then I can add another page and I can call this day 7 imaginary numbers intro. And then I can add another page and call it day 8 and whatever I need to do. Now in here, I also want to show because remember this is our staging area, anything I'm going to send to my kids. So I'm going to send my kids worksheets, which I could go here and I can go to Insert and I'm going to click Print Out. And then I am going to choose what document I want to insert. So from my USB or from my OneDrive or on your desktop, wherever it is you have something saved. And I'm going to insert it. I am going to allow the file conversion. And what it's going to do is it's going to insert it as a printout, which inserting it as images. It's taking like a screenshot of each page individually. So this is a pretty big document. It's going to take a minute or two to do that. But while it's doing that, remember that this is where you're going to set everything up. So not only am I going to send my kids worksheets, but I'm going to send them homework sheets as well. And in their student sections, at least the way I have mine set up, my students' notebooks have different subsections underneath each unit. They have a subsection for classwork, for homework, and for printed notes. For me, in my teacher only, I don't have that feature. So I'm going to show you a way to get around that also. And I'm actually going to pause the video and let this finish inserting so I'm not wasting time here. And then when it's done, I will continue. So as you can see, this is now my document. It is as pictures, so I can't like edit it or anything like that. So I said I was going to show you how to organize this since you don't have subsections in your teacher only. So I'm going to click add a page and I'm going to call it day 1, 3 variable systems. And I want this to be my homework. So I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to call this homework day 1, 3 variable systems. And then I'm going to, let's say, do another one. Homework day 2, 3 variable systems. And then homework day 3, conic linear systems, and I can continue this for as many as I need. But this gets a little confusing. So what I like to do is I like to make them subpages, and it's just going to indent it and actually make it nice that you could collapse things. So I'm going to right click on it and click make it a subpage. And if you notice, it now indented it over, and I have this little arrow here. So I'm going to right click, make this a subpage, right click, make this a subpage. And now I can collapse this and I can see any document. So you could put a do now if you have that in a different page, or you could do an exit ticket or whatever it is that you have, and everything in days 1 through 6 are going to all be organized here. So if I wanted to add another page, and now I have homework day 7, intro to imaginary numbers, I can right click on this, make this a subpage, and now this becomes collapsible as well. So that's probably going to be the easiest way for you to organize. And I'll go back and show you this is how I have my other ones set up also. And what's nice about this is you can set up your teacher only section ahead of time. So you could do this in September for the whole year, or you could do it unit by unit. And if you notice, I have it set up in unit 2. All of these pages are completely blank. The only thing I set up was the title. So now each day, each week, I can choose to go here, and at this point I'm going to insert my printout. I'm going to choose what file I want. And it's going to insert it as a printout for me. But you don't need to do this every day if you have it set up ahead of time.